going to be a couple of Pilates classes coming within the centres, Marie, and we are just working out the timetable for that. So you should know maybe later today, probably tomorrow, emails will go out to you all with the new indoor timetable that will come out once Pilates reopen next week. All right, I've just got to grab my phone. I know we're hoping to try and put on maybe 2 daytime Pilates, Marie, and then an evening one. Right, let me just link up with my phone here. It's been all go, so I'm a little bit on the drag because we've been so many emails and things going backwards and forwards trying to sort out all these things. And you kind of find a time slot and then you can't find a coach or vice versa. Right, there we go. I think I might need a bit more water than that, but make sure to still see my head. Yes, we can. I'm just going to grab a bit more water and then we'll make a start. Okay. So, toes and knees point forwards, shoulders down relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central. You've got an even distribution of body weight across both of your feet. You feel central, you feel balanced. Finding your neutral spine, so we're just tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. Finding the position where your back feels the most comfortable. You're finding that natural lordotic curve. Hopefully you can hear me over the music. I'm stood right near the speakers so the music sounds really loud to me. Making sure you've got that neutral spine. Core muscles, the pelvic floor, the muscle from within. You need to draw that muscle up, okay, as if you're stopping mid-flow. Imagine it's attached to a lift, up to floor 10, down to floor 5, down to floor 3, and then hopefully we can maintain it at this level. Around about 30% engagement. Then imagine you've got a belt around your middle with 10 notches to that belt. Let's pull the belt into notch 10, come out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. So your core muscles set and engaged to around about that 30%. Level 3, notch 3. Breathing will then come from the rib cage. Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. Take a nice deep breath in. Lateral thoracic breathing, opening, breathing from the ribs and release. Deep breath in and release. Relax the arms down. And we're gently going to pivot through the feet, one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel. Allow those shoulders to rotate one way and the other. Place the feet down, lift all the way up onto the toes and release. And again, all the way up and release. One more time here. Lengthen right through the body and release. So we're going to take a lunge forward with the left leg and then rotate to the left. So lunge, drop the back knee, rotate into the middle, back and change sides. So our knees are bending at right angles. Both knees are bending. As we rotate, we've got that spinal rotation through the back. And those hips are facing forwards. So we take one more on each side for me, please. Last one here. Good. And then we're going to step out to the side, reach up and over, in and change sides. So this is your lateral flexion. Reach up and over, and in. Again, up and over, and in. Lengthening through the waist, through the side of the body, and through that back. One more to each side, please. Last one here. holding it in the center. Just allow those hips to gently rotate one way and the other. Just forgot to set my watch. Lovely. Holding it in the center. You're going to take one leg forward, soften the knee, point the toe. You're going to circle that leg round, lift the knee up and balance. Toe comes forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. And again, toe forward, circle round, lift, balance, hold. Ankle rotates one way and then the other. And place that foot down. Other leg comes forward, point the toe, circle round, lift the knee in balance. Toe forward, circle round, lift the knee in balance. Forward, round, hold, ankle one way and the other. And place that foot down. Good. Stand towards the back of the mat. You're going to breathe in, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang and relax like wet spaghetti. Then breathe in, and as you breathe out, begin to roll back up. Rebuild the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to the top. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through the back. Soften the knees, allow the arms to hang and relax, and then when you're ready, carefully begin to roll back up through the back, rebuild the spine all the way to the top, relax the shoulders down. So we're going to roll down this time and then come down to the floor. So breathe in, chin in. Breathe out, begin to roll down. At your lowest point, hands walk forwards. Bring yourself into a box position for our level 1 push-up. Hands slightly wider than the shoulders. Breathe in, bring the chest down. Breathe out, push all the way up. Breathe in, bring the chest down. Breathe out, push the chest up. Legs go further away for level 2. Hold breath into lower. Hold breath out to lift. And if we're going all the way to level 3, toes down, knees up. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift up. Allowing that chest to come down. And all the way through, carrying on for me, all the way through, pulling up the belly button and keeping the back neutral. What we don't want to do is allow our back to dip and arch. That back remains lengthened and straight. I'm going to ask you for 2 more push-ups. Once you've completed those 2, bring those hands in. Wrist, elbow, shoulder. Core muscle zipped up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, push that one leg all the way back behind you. And then breathe in and pull it in. Other leg. I was going to say your right leg, but you can use whichever leg you like. You're working both the same. So one pushes back, then pulls back in. All the time, keep your back nice and level. So imagine you've got a tray resting on your back. We don't want to tilt and spill anything, okay? Next level, breathe out, fully extend, raise up in line with the body. Breathe in, touch the toe down at the furthest point, and then bring it in. And it is absolutely vital that your toes touch the floor before your knee does. I see a lot of this. You've got to allow that leg to come up straight, it lowers straight, and then comes in. We don't want any kind of big dynamic swinging of the leg. It is a nice controlled movement. Breathing out to lengthen. You can always slide the opposite hand out along the floor. Make sure you remain central, don't tip to the sides. And then if you want to go all the way, arm and leg extend, raise in line with the body, breathe in, touch down, and draw back in. Breathe out to lengthen and raise. Breathe in to lower and draw it back in. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and in place. Breathe out to lengthen and raise. Breathe in to lower and draw it back in. Working with smooth, controlled movements. Don't rush. Use that full, deep breath. I'm going to ask you, please, swimming, one more on each side. Once you've completed those two, legs are going to move further away, coming down onto your forearms and elbows. You're going to look down towards the floor and you're going to draw the pelvis up. So you're looking down between the wrists, You're pulling up through the belly button. Level 1 of the leg pull. Level 2, knees come up. Hold and breathe. If you want the next level, you're going to come all the way up onto those hands. Wrists, elbows, shoulders all in line with each other. Back lengthen, looking down at the floor. Pulling up through the belly button. You should feel tension around the center of your body, okay? If you begin to shake or wobble, take a rest, join back in when you're ready. You've got those 3 levels, guys, so do the one that's comfortable. Don't always have to go for the hard option. You can sometimes work really hard in a low level, because then you're absolutely sure that your technique is perfect. So there's no point doing, let's say, level 3 and then having your bum up in the air, because then you're not working, or having the back dip down too far, because then you're not working. So often a lower level can give you a better technique and work more effectively. So listen to your body and just check in on yourself. Are your core muscles engaged? Is your neutral spine in place? Are your hips central? Have you tipped to one side? I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths here. Once you've completed those 2, gently lowering all the way down onto your front. So, forehead comes down, hands come to the small of the back, and your legs come together. I'd like to point your toes away from your body. Belly button is drawn up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lengthen. Breathe out, 1, 2, let's just do 3. Good. So this is your double leg kick. You can do a single leg if you prefer. You're pulling up through the belly button, so we've got our core muscles engaged. As we bring the heels towards the bottom, the backs of those thighs and the bottoms work. So that's glutes and hamstrings. Good. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Deep full breaths. Strengthen through the core. 1, 2, 3. Good. So I'm going to ask you your double leg kick for 2 more repetitions, please. When you've completed those, lower your legs, release those arms, and come back up to leg pull. Elbows under the shoulders, level 1 knees down, level 2 knees up, level 3 on the hands. But remember, central. Don't lean, don't dip or arch the back. Pull up through the belly button. Deep, full breaths. Don't use short, sharp, quick breaths. Use full, deep breaths. And of course, remember to get a drink and rest at any time. So in your leg pull, strengthening for the core and the lumbar spine, I'd like you please to complete up to 3 more breaths. So up to. If you can only manage 2, that's absolutely fine. Once you've completed those, gently come all the way back down onto your front, and we're just going to lengthen the arms out and the legs out, okay? So you're going to point the fingers, point the toes. Head is down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, one arm and the opposite leg lift. As you breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift the other side. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to release. So point the fingers, point the toes, engage the core. So this is swimming, alright, but in a lying position, so a prone position. We're only lifting as far as comfortable. I don't want you to lift too high and then bend your leg. You've got to keep it as straight as you can. Now you can do just the arm or just the leg if it's uncomfortable for any reason at all. Try and keep that head down for me. You should be looking at the floor. If you're looking at your skirting board or wherever you are, the garden maybe, if you're looking at anything else, then you need to be looking straight down. Because our neck needs to be in line with the rest of the back. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to lower. And I'm going to ask you please, we're strengthening from the core and the lumbar spine, or one more on each side. Once you've completed those two, you can gently release. And we're going to turn onto one side. So we're going to come up onto our forearm elbow. Elbow onto the shoulder. I'm doing this one for a very personal reason. My back's hurting. So this particular movement that we're going to do is a lateral hip raise, and it's going to help if you've got sciatica, any lower back niggles basically, but at the same time we're drawing up the rib cage, so we're working the obliques at the same time. Now make sure that arm isn't too far away because the body will lower. So it's elbow, shoulder, rib cage up, legs together, feet together, breathe in. Breathe out, press the top leg back, keep the feet touching, breathe in and lower. Breathe out, press it back, breathe in and lower. So we've got this diagonal position from my head down my torso to my pelvis. What we don't want is for the head to hang. Now if you want to go further, we're raising the hip off the floor. Breathing out as we open, in as we release. So we've got this lateral hip raise. Work around the side glute and easing through the lower back. In a side bend position, so we're working the obliques. I can just hear my dog moving around so much. He's a noisy boy. I tell you why he's doing it, because he's downstairs on his own. He can't get to me, and the boys are upstairs, so he's feeling a bit lonely, I think. I'm going to ask you for two more. And once you've completed those two, please gently lower all the way down onto your toe. That was very dramatic, wasn't it? Lengthen out, head rest down, point the fingers, point the toes, hips, knees, ankles all stacked, one on top of the other. Hand is there for your support. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, raise both those legs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg. As you breathe in, gently lower. Breathe out, lift the top leg. Breathe in, gently lower. Hand is there for your balance. If you don't need it, we're taking it away, we're placing it on the thigh. Now our bottom leg is raised and still. If it's too much, keep the bottom leg down. If you want to go even further, the arm is coming over. Feel that lengthening from the fingers to the toes. Try and make sure you're not rolling that body forwards and back. You've got to stay in this nice long line. Good. And then if you want to go further still, add a little bit of movement from the shoulder and just bring the arm up to point to the ceiling and back down. Breathe out as you raise, breathe in as you release. So with this side leg raise, with or without the arm movement, because you might still have your arm there for balance, okay? Working down the side of the body, the side glute, down the side of that leg, through the core and the lumbar spine as we maintain our posture, but also through the obliques, the waist. And you would have felt those muscles tighten the moment those legs came off the floor. Just going to do one more for me, please. Then you can release the arm back down and allow those legs to lower. And if you need to, give that hip a little bit of a rub. And when you're ready, bringing yourself to a seated position. I'm glad I got more water. And I ran out by now. Okay guys, so we're sitting on our bottom. We've got our legs bent, just tucking my belly in. Shoulders down and relaxed. That locked down belly. Chin up off the chest. Just coming into a roll up. What I don't want you to do is lift your legs or wobble them out. Keep them still. You're going to breathe in. You're tilting the pelvis under, so you create this C-shaped spine. Breathe out and gently lower as far as you can go. Then breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out, continue all the way up. So that back is lengthened and that chin is off the chest. Breathe in and tilt. Breathe out, lower. Now if you can get all the way down, that is wonderful. But you have got to get all the way back up without moving those legs. So if we're only going to here, that is absolutely fine. You've got permission, not that you need it. Breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue. A week with no Pilates and I'm feeling this, guys, I can tell you. Core muscles are engaged, only going as far as comfortable for you. Now, if you prefer, sometimes if you've got a short or a tight hamstring, it's more comfortable with your legs out straight. Now that's a matter of comfort, not a matter of making it harder or easier, okay? It's literally just taking the pressure out of the back of the thigh. Remember to tuck that tailbone under, breathe in to tilt, breathe out to lower. Now sometimes you might go to someone else's Pilates and they do this on a single breath in to lower and a single breath out to lift. That's not wrong, I just do it slower because I'm a taskmaster and I like you to add extra pressure. Good. Core muscles engaged. I just think there's a little bit more control needed. But if you go somewhere else and they do one breath, it's still the right movement. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue the lift. So in your roll up, I'm going to ask you for one more, please, and then stay in that seated position. Good. Legs can be straight or bent. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Very similar, but this time this is your oblique roller. A couple of choices here. You can bring your arms bent. Breathe in, tilt. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, come to the center. Breathe out, come up. Breathe in, tilt. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, come to the center. Breathe out, come up. Next option here is to have the arms out straight. I am going to offer you one more option. And that is to take the arm round. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to open, and you're just going to follow the hand, keeping both sides of the bottom on the floor, keeping that chin up off the chest. Again, if you prefer, you can have your legs out straight, okay? Remember, we start here. If you want to, if you prefer, arms bent. Arms out straight. Or follow that arm round. It's just going to get a little bit deeper. We're asking the body just a little bit more movement. I'm asking my builder to make my room bigger. Good, core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. So I'm going to ask please for one more to each side at your chosen level. Once you've completed those two, you're going to carefully allow yourself to lower. Just got to make sure I've got enough space to lower all the way down onto your back. Have your legs out straight for me. I'm going to have to take my hair clip out because my head won't go flat. Okay, so we're looking up at the ceiling, chin is off the chest, shoulders are down, relaxed, core muscles are in, okay? Hopefully your back feels neutral. You might just need to wiggle a couple of times, hitting my table. I'm just going to go that way, my desk. Breathe in. As you breathe out, one leg comes up. Now it's as straight as possible, toes point to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly begin lowering that leg. When you get halfway, I want you to breathe in and hold. And then breathe out and continue to lower. Once it's down, breathe in, other leg comes up. Breathe out gently. Begin to lower. Stops halfway, breathe in. Breathe out, continue all the way down. Good. Breathe in, as you breathe out, leg comes up. So we're alternating from one leg to the other. This is called the jackknife. This is pure strength and control from your core and lumbar spine. If you want the next level, legs stuck together like glue, both legs come up together, and then gently begin to lower together. Now don't let those legs drop. You have got to control them all the way to the floor. But also make sure the tummy isn't doming upwards. It's all pulled down. Okay? There is one more level, which I'm going to give you in just a moment, which is going to involve your legs going all the way up and over. So hopefully I'm going to manage this. Legs come up, they go all the way over. Okay? My toes are to the floor. If yours can get there, that would be great. Okay? You'll add an extra breath to allow your back to slowly lower down. Now I'm pushing with my hands a little bit because my lower back at the moment isn't very strong. But try to resist pushing with the arms if you can help it. Once you get back to this standard position here, then just continue to allow those legs to lower. If you're going for that all the way over option, add that extra breath, so you're working with 3 breaths. And you can only take both legs over. One leg over isn't an option here, okay? So you have got that one leg option, the double leg option, and all the way over. Jackknife, strengthening from the core to the lumbar spine. Now the leg can lift quickly, but the slower you can lower, the harder you're going to work, the more effective it's going to be. Keep looking straight up at that ceiling, so we've got that alignment coming from the head all the way down. Well done. So I'm going to ask you please for one more at your level. And once you've completed that, please bend your legs and place the feet down. You may need to just find that neutral spine again as you bend the legs. Absolutely fine. Just make sure your back is comfortable, core muscles are in place, shoulders down and relaxed. So we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to bring one leg up into a right angle position. Don't let that heel drop. Right angle, shin is facing the ceiling. This, on its own, is the level 1 of the 100. And we're already working from the core and the lumbar spine. Now if you want to go further, we're going to bring the other leg up. Again, make sure shoulders in place. Make sure heels stay raised. We don't want one leg higher than the other, they're parallel. The knees are still hips distance apart. I haven't brought my legs together, okay? So one leg or both legs. Option to bring up the upper body, the shoulders, palms above the floor, breathe in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can have that pulse with just one leg. If you have got just one leg raised, please allow that leg to lower. Breathe in as you breathe out, other leg comes up. Again, you've got one leg or both legs raised, with or without the upper body being lifted. Making sure neutral's in place, making sure those right ankles are in place. Draw those abdominals in. If I was to place a spirit level across your hips, bubble and air would be central and still, okay? Deep, full breaths at your level, the 100. Because you do 100 breaths. Simple as that. Try not to get, this is what I call magnetic toe syndrome. That those feet come together. Try and keep them apart, okay? I'm going to ask you for 2 more breaths, please. And then if you've got the upper body raised, lower it. If you've got both legs raised, 1 foot at a time comes down. And we're going to bring up that first leg once again. Now we're going to keep that leg bent at a right angle. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we touch the foot down. As we breathe in, we bring it back up. Breathe out, we touch the foot down. Breathe in, we lift it back up. Right angle in the knee. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to raise. Now, if you want to go further, you can have both legs raised. And you can alternate. You can only alternate if you've got both legs raised, okay? So if you've only got one leg lifted, you are going to do 3 more with that leg, and then you're going to swap over. If you've got both legs going and you want to go a little bit further, bring up the upper body, but keep it nice and still, and keep the chin off the chest. So where are we? Level 3. If you want to go a little bit further, don't go too fast. One leg down, and then interchange. As it comes back up, the other leg is already going down. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. Strengthen from the core and the lumbar spine. Remember, you can just do that one leg. Hopefully you remember to swap. And you're just going to do at your level 2 more repetitions. And then 1 foot at a time comes down, upper body down if you had it raised. And then gently give yourself a nice long body stretch. Well done. So from here, we need to work the other side of the body, okay? So we're transferring over onto the side. Straighten my mat out. We start propped up on that lateral hip raise with this side bend. So elbow, shoulder, hoist up the rib cage. Let's get this technique in place. Head in line with the body, feet together. Hand is there for balance, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, press it back. Don't need the hand there, take it away. Breathe out, press the top leg back. Keeping that rib cage lifted. So the only thing moving is that hip. Want to go further, we are bringing the hip off the floor. Breathe out, press back. Breathe in to return. Strengthening the core, the obliques, side glute, hip, lateral hip raise. Loosening any trapped nerves in the lower back. always nice if you do suffer from sciatica. Even if you can't come up, let me just tell you, you can do just this, laying down on your side. I know my dad struggles with sciatica and he can't hold himself up on his shoulder, so he does that other option. Just do one more. And then carefully allow yourself to lower and lengthen all the way out. We're resting the head down on the arm, hips, knees, ankles all stacked, core engaged, hand is there for balance. Do not allow yourself to roll forwards or backwards, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs up. As soon as you lifted those legs, the obliques, the waist began to work. They are helping to keep those legs up. They're helping the core and the lumbar spine to maintain this posture. Hand is there for balance. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg up. As you breathe in, gently lower it down. Breathe out, lift that top leg up. Breathe in, gently lower it down. Hand is there for balance. If we don't need it, feel free to take it away. Next option is to bring that arm over. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. Final option, raise that arm at the same time as the leg. Now remember, you can always go back down a level. If you get to this point and your hips are rolling, just keep the arm still or bring it back through. Entirely up to you. But like I said earlier, think about good technique working you harder than a higher level with poor technique. Okay? Breathing out as you lift. And anyway, no one can see what level you're working at. Okay? Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you release. That bottom leg is raised, but if it's too uncomfortable, you can always keep that bottom leg down. Well done, guys. So I am just going to ask you for 2 more here on this side leg raise, working the core, the obliques, the lumbar spine, that side glute. Once you've completed those 2, you can gently lower those legs and gently give that a rub. I'll tell you what, not doing Pilates for a week, you certainly realise how hard you work when you're actually doing the class. You might not feel it like you're doing much sometimes, but believe me, honestly, if you're doing it properly, you're feeling it. Carefully from here, bring yourself round into a box position. Wrists and elbows under the shoulder. Just take a cat stretch. Breathe in, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently release. Breathe in, round the spine, chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. Sit back on the heels. Arms are lengthening out. Well done. Good. And then from there, push yourself back into a crouched position. We are going to make our way to stand. If you need to hold on to something, absolutely fine. Okay? So you're pushing back into a crouched position. You're tucking the chin into the chest. We're going to place the feet flat down. Excuse my dodgy nail varnish. And then gently roll up through the back. I think I need to treat myself to a pedicure, you know. Gently rolling up through the spine. I've got birthday coming up. Maybe I should get some vouchers. Lengthen all the way to the top. Relax the shoulders down. So make sure you are balanced and central. We don't want to leave thinking, oh, we're a bit lopsided. Good. Lift up onto the toes. Are you balanced? And release. Try and keep the core and the neutral spine in place as much of the day as you remember. Now just lift up and hold. Just see if you can close your eyes and maintain your balance. It's harder when you're talking as well. Well done, and release. So that is your Pilates for today. Very well done. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow lunchtime, it is our low impact class. So those of you who aren't used to exercising or returning from illness or injury, returning from having a baby, anything like that, if you're not sure whether or not you should be doing it, just give us a little message and we can get back to you on that. As I say, keep an eye on your inboxes for information about the indoor classes that will be coming your way very, very soon. Thank you for joining me today. Take care. Au revoir to you, Marie, and see you again soon.